Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS. Fans, brews, and Broncos news.
Good evening, Broncos Country, and welcome to what should be the first of very many Victory Mondays here in Broncos Country. So we are glad to be with you here tonight, guys. This is the Postgame Podcast, first one of the regular season, and it is good to be able to start this off strong with some victory talk. Obviously, the conversation tonight is going to start off a little rough and then get better as the conversation goes on. But it will be worth it, guys. So as you're tuning in, make sure you're hitting that share button. Post your comments, post your questions as we go through and break down this game. But let's introduce the co-hosts, as always. First, Adam and Scott, the flag man. Scott, how are you doing tonight, man? How you doing?
You know what, man? I feel like a truck hit me this morning. That's just, I'm an old man, and I don't know whether it's the standing and stomping and screaming. Because I was lucky enough we didn't have anybody behind us. Was weird. So
Interesting.
I didn't have anybody saying, "Hey, sit down. You're blocking my view." So so I don't know if it was that or just, man, oh man, these flags get heavier and heavier, man.
Yep, I feel you. Mr. Adam, what's up, dude?
What's up? Rough at the beginning, but gets better at the end. Should be that was like a microcosm of that whole game yesterday. No, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it really was.
But there are no style points for winning. Yes, it would have been nicer and a little bit easier on the ticker if it would have been a little bit more comfortable. But guess what? All that matters at the end of the day is that you're 1-0 and you're trying to get 1-0 every week. And haters are going to hate. And you know what? There's stuff to talk about. So as far as I'm concerned, all good things. The Broncos won, but gave us enough to talk about. So
exactly. It'd be a little boring if we were just like, they won and they're perfect. Anyway, what
anyway,
no. That'd be very boring, and that'd make the podcast very short, which is not going to be the case tonight for sure. Guys, a couple things that I want to point out first before we get into the conversation of the game. Something that I noticed, the crowd was having fun, and I don't know if you guys could see that over the TV and pick that up, but near the end of the game, when they kept saying, number 63 is as an eligible receiver and everything, reporting it as, people just started clapping. The entire stadium were just cheering on number 63, like, yeah, 63. And it was just, it's a little thing, but you could tell like the fans were just having fun.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the last time we had that feeling in Mile High of just fans just, look, it wasn't a great position that the team was. I think they were up like 13-12 at that point, right? Or maybe even the 20-12. So the game wasn't over by any means, but there was a sense of like, we're seeing what this defense is doing. We can trust them.
Oof,
and they're able to just have fun along with the team. And it was just such a relief to see and experience. So again, I'm not sure if you guys picked that up on your TV, but at least from where I was standing, the whole stadium was cheering and clapping for number 63 by the 6th, 7th time that he reported as eligible.
Right.
That
was fun.
You could tell the energy level was up yesterday. You could tell that Cam Ward was having some trouble, some communication issues at different points. And you could definitely tell that especially that last drive, maybe the moment getting a little bit too big for Cam a little bit. It looked like he was trying to throw a football through a car wash and not get it wet a couple times. And I'm like, bro, you gotta gear it down a little bit, Turbo. But yeah, you could tell, kind of bringing everything back. The energy was there yesterday. It was palpable. Even just walking around the city, you could tell that people were really excited for yesterday.
Yeah. It was great. It was a great feeling.
Well,
Michael, glad to see you here, buddy. Michael, James, and Derek, guys, you're fantastic. So everyone else, post your comments, your questions about the game, and we'll get into that here in a second. Go for it, Scott.
I was just going to say, you could tell a lot of casual fans, all they looked at was, oh, you won. What a great game. Yeah. And I was trying to be positive. I really was like, yeah, we won. It's just, we got to be better than that, though.
Yeah.
This team, we should have been able to put 35, 42 points up on them.
Should have been. And I think, that's fair.
But it's learning. And, felt like everybody was in preseason mode, from the referees, they're spotting the ball, to the head coach, to Bo Nix. I mean, it was not a great game by Bo, and I love Bo. I'm not trying to hate Bo, but I don't know. Sometimes I didn't know what he was doing, because there were times where he had 20 yards of open field and he needed 9 yards, and all he had to do is just go. And then he's throwing these off platform throws. So I don't know. Yeah. It's a lot to work on. And Sean Payton did not call a great game. That's for sure. So
I don't think so.
I think they're saying the right things. They're saying, hey, you know what? We won. Don't panic. We're fine. And I'm hoping, because after next week, it gets real quick.
I would say even for this week, and we'll get into this next week's game. It goes down to, I can't remember who said this, but if the Broncos had played this way against almost any other team, they probably would have lost.
Exactly.
And that's fair. When you turn the ball over four times, you can't expect your defense to be just that absolutely game changing. I mean, when we turn the ball over, basically, Mims muffed punt, and the fact our defense was able to push them by 3 sacks.
Yeah,
push them back outside of field goal range. I mean, that is absurd. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
That should have been a field goal. That should have been an automatic 3 points. And so for Denver to not even allow the field goal and push them out of field goal range, helped by the fact that Cam Ward, again, I told you guys he was gonna go playground, and I told you he was gonna run into the rush. But yeah, in any case, to kind of go what Scott was saying, and Sean Payton not really calling a great game. Are we? And maybe it needs to be said, and I'll be the first one to lob the grenade out there. Is like every gambler kind of has that intuition that like lets them know that they're on to something. And Sean gets a lot of credit for having that gambler's intuition back in New Orleans. We all give him that. And for, he's done what he's done, pat on the back. Yeah. But yesterday, his gambles could have cost Denver that game.
Probably
very easily could have cost him the game. And these are needlessly gambled. These are chasing the game, big momentum swings that he's taking, and they're needless risks. And this isn't the first time he's done this. You have the Jets game that they won last year, where he got crazy at the end. Special team, trying to squeeze extra possessions in the LA game last year. Not going for 2 against Cincinnati in that game. It just seems like every time he takes these big momentum like swings, he's coming up empty. And at what point is it going to cost us a big game at this point?
Yeah.
Well, I agree. And special. I don't. We're out on the out there grabbing a beer right before halftime after they scored, and I'm like, okay, let's celebrate. And we don't kick it through the end zone.
Perfect example.
How stupid
Perfect example
is it? But then I'm watching the Vikings and the Bears, and the Vikings did the same thing at their end of half. It didn't cost them, but boy, it sure could have.
And sure could have.
It's getting cute for the sake of it. And if there was a more competent offense with even a guy who isn't making his first NFL start, those possessions, the possession where basically we push them back, and the possession right before halftime, they convert one of those into a touchdown. It's a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
And more likely than not, even with an elite defense like what we have, that's probably what happens 9 times out of 10. So I think Sean is just playing with fire way too much and getting really reckless with the game that he's calling, and just the needless, rolls of the dice are getting a little bit too. It's too much for me.
Yep, I feel you. Sorry, one sec. Cough at the wrong time, man. All that whole and that's when it decided to come up. One thing I know, my voice is not in mid-season form yet. I had no voice by before halftime, and I wasn't even yelling that much. But it came to time for me to talk to somebody next to me, by the third quarter, and my voice was cracking. I couldn't do anything, man. So I'm not in mid-season form yet. You got to give me some time to warm up here.
All right. Well, I'll give you this one.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Give me this one at least. I need to work out some kinks there. So, fun thing, guys, before we go down through the whole game, as much as the offense struggled, and as much as we see that, all these videos and people coming out today talking about everything, it's revolving around the Broncos offense, but we need to really think about what this defense did. And how well they played. We've already been talking about it a little bit through some of the examples that we've talked about so far. But you think about it in terms of the Broncos already ranked number 1 in a category. And if you look at it, they allowed 134 yards in the first half, and they ended the game with allowing 133 total yards. So yeah, the math is there, meaning they only allowed -1 yards in the second half. I mean, come on.
Brutal.
Right? Oh, man.
I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad.
Don't you get a yard? Don't you get a yard for taking a knee? I mean,
no, I mean, even that, either way, the Broncos are number 1 in the NFL, at least that category. Now, obviously, we're seeing how this game plays out tonight, but allowing 133 yards is fantastic. And the next closest one is the Browns, who held the Bengals 241 yards or something like that. So Broncos did an incredibly good job considering their offense was struggling mightily. So let's go through the game quarter by quarter, guys, and start breaking this down. Obviously we go out there, we win the coin toss, which is always a good omen when you win the first coin toss of the season, right? And things are looking good. But right off the bat, we see that the Titans are able to walk it down the field in the field goal range pretty easily in 7 plays, right? So give your takes from your guys' point of view. What were you seeing, and what did you feel immediately after that first drive?
A lot of missed tackles, a lot of just, a lot of stuff going right up the middle. And that was a little scary at one point. I thought overall they tightened it down before it became, but they were down down on the 10 at one point. They tightened it down, and I thought, well, okay, that's good. I didn't like the fact that this kid was actually getting a little time to throw the ball and getting a little confidence. We really didn't put a lot of pressure when he did throw, but they were running pretty at will up the middle in that first quarter. And I kind of had my gut feeling was, and my confidence level of where this defense was, I knew they were going to make adjustments and shut that down. Yeah. But I would have liked to have seen it right away. So I think they did a great job making adjustments, but that bothered me that they were able to move the ball so well the first drive.
Yeah. You want to go out there. You want to see them just that instant success. And look, if your defense is holding the other team to field goals all day, which essentially we did, like your team should win that game, right? Even if your offense is just average, that should be a game you win, which is essentially what happened here, maybe with the offense performing a little below average. But immediately after that, we go out there and the Broncos were able to get a nice 10-play drive together.
And it looked good initially.
It did. But we also saw right off the bat what Jeremy is asking here. What happened to Bo? Right off the bat, Bo in the entirety of the game looked completely off center, phased. I don't know what was going on. It looked like his feet were incredibly frantic. It never looked like he really got a good plant and throw, right? So it was just interesting all day to see him almost kind of panicking and acting frantic throughout these plays.
That first drive that ended with the field goal, I want to say that's kind of emblematic of how they want the offense to look. Lots of quick underneath passing, offset it with the run, take your shots downfield when you see them. So it seemed like they were moving the ball very, very well. It looked pretty good. And then it's like they got the I don't know what happened, but it just seemed like they hit like a very weird stalling point at that point that ended in the field goal, but then it never got back to that point again. They never went really quick. There was lots of long developing plays. They did say that they ended up rushing the ball about as much as how Sean Payton likes to run the ball. But that was not the case in the first half, which really could have settled down the game when it got crazy. I really felt like Cam Ward, the only time that Cam Ward really hurt us is when he went playground. And that first drive, he hit the big, like, weird, throwing the ball over his head almost laterally at a Pollard. Pollard takes it down, and then they end up stopping him. But Cam Ward went out and did kind of exactly what I thought he would do. That's a Titans channel thing. I don't really want to get into Cam Ward, but the defense came out and played as advertised, and that is without Dre Greenlaw in there, which I think, and Jahdae Barron really only played in the dime packages. The starter was Jaquan McMillan the entire way, and who also had a really good game.
Yeah.
So I would say that when the focal point of the offense was the run, the offense looked a lot better, and it looked. But again, we go back to Sean just chasing the game and being hyper aggressive, and I just almost feel like. It's almost like a kid on Christmas Day. They got a ton of new toys. They don't know what they want to play with first. When they, and it felt like they were just ripping everything open and trying all these new things. And when really the old standby was just let Harvey and Dobbins kind of take it over and go from there.
Just let some of these guys work up a sweat would have been nice. I mean, every play you got 6 players in, out. And it was
lots of subs
nonstop. And then you got these little waggle plays, but you haven't ran the ball. Mm-hmm. So you fake the handoff. They're not going after that fake. And every time it seemed like every time he was throwing off platform because he had that defensive end in his face. And
lots of pressure was getting to him all day.
Those are great plays, but they're only great plays if you set them up.
Yep.
You either got to do them right away before you start running, or you establish a run and then do that. And I really thought we were going to see something going downfield at some point.
Yeah.
And it just, it never happened other than the touchdown at the end. And that was a beautiful throw. He stood back there and he ripped the damn thing.
Yep.
But
there were 2 other times. So I asked the same question. Now I asked, have we seen Bo throw the ball downfield at all? This was like at halftime. Like, have we seen any deep pass? And it's like, remember there were 2 that we've already blocked from our memory, more or less. The one to the end zone that was a bullet and should have been floated, right? Just zoomed right over Baday's head. And it's like, dude, you got way too much on that one. And then one of the interceptions, I can't remember who he was throwing to, but that one was floated. And I was like, dude, if you had made that a bullet pass, the guy was wide open, but you gave him an extra second with the ball in the air, and the defender was able to sneak in there. So twice there, it's like, whoa. But I do want to bring up this. First off, shout out to Ken, who found us over in the tailgate yesterday. Ken, it was really great meeting you as well, buddy. And this is a great example. Everybody here, when you're going to a Broncos game, come on over to the Flagman tailgate. It's a great time. You are all more than welcome to be there. But Ken's going to be going out to London later this year for that game. And so he's going to be getting us some pictures and some information from stuff going on the ground there, since we're not able to go ourselves. But talking about the run game, because this is a big point that I saw, and heard people talking about on the radio afterwards as well. Bo threw the ball 40 times yesterday. I think we only ran the ball 7 times in the first half. And a lot of questions like, we cannot be doing that. Mm-hmm. However, Ken makes a point here, and I haven't heard this. I don't, we're not going to be able to get this confirmed or anything, but whether or not Sean Payton had actually called these run plays. But then we did see Bo Nix making a lot of changes at the line, which is good, right? We want him running the show. That's his responsibility. But if he's, picking up coverages and blitzes and everything like that, and he's checking out of the run into those passes, it's almost like it goes back to what you're saying, though, Scott, of you have to establish the run first. You have to say, we're going to run the ball, even if we get like 1 or 2 yards, because, and you have to, be worried about this threat. That's what's going to set up those other plays down the line. So I think that's something for Bo Nix. If this was the case, to say, hey, make sure we're establishing the run, right? Don't check out of the run every single time you see pressure. These running backs are going to have to find a way to get open and adjust coverages as such to pick up those blitzers and everything. But, in general, it was interesting to see what we did there, because that run game early on was just not there in the first, second, or third quarters.
Well, you gotta keep it going, though, and you're going to break one. I mean, those 2 backs were running hard. They weren't just doing the old Javonte Williams shuffle and going down. They were, that touchdown run kind of shuffled a little bit, and then it was acceleration through that hole. Yeah. But you got to get these guys opportunities to get comfortable with their linemen and get comfortable with what they're seeing.
Yep.
I think that, and to kind of just go back to Bo checking out of plays, if that's the case, and that just further exacerbates the fact that Bo did not have a good game yesterday. No. And with people talking about the regression, I'm not going to say that one game is gonna sum up the entirety of the season, but from all the things that Bo did last season, all the rock solid decision making that he had, and they demonstrated countless times. Not the case yesterday. He looked, to Kev, what Kev is saying, looked frantic at times. The 2 interceptions were bad interceptions. The first one to Sutton, if he I know that every off-platform throw looks very neat and it's super, everybody loses their mind over it. But there's times where just set your damn feet and get behind your shoulders and rifle this thing. And I felt like Bo kind of fell in love with doing the off-platform stuff and making the throw harder than it needs to be. One of the things that I hate Chris Collinsworth, because he's so right about this, and I hate it when he's right, is that he says that the off-platform stuff is making quarterbacking harder than it needs to be. And I really felt like Bo was out there making it harder than it needed to be yesterday. The waggle that you're talking about on that first drive, they hit it and they ran it, and he hit a great ball to Franklin.
That was that first.
But then they never. Every time they ran it after that, because they never set it up with the run.
Nope.
It never worked after that. So to that point, and it just you don't want to say that this is a sign of things to come, but it's not going to silence any questions from people that do have some questions about Bo taking a step back this year.
Yeah,
I love Waggles, I really do, but you got to have a threat. I remember Greasy's first start in Denver, and people were already, well, it shouldn't be Greasy, or it should be Greasy, or it shouldn't be Greasy, or whatever. And one of the first drives, he faked to Terrell, and then he hit Smith on an 80-yard rollout pass, and it was beautiful. Of course, unfortunately, we lost TD in the fourth game, and it was over. We never reestablished any of that.
Yep.
So
that run game.
I just wish we would, get the guys a little bit of, I don't know, let them work up a sweat. Let them get a feel for the game. But we're constantly
getting that momentum.
Everybody coming. And it's like everybody. People you wouldn't even expect. Why? And I like Bidet. I really do. But why are we subbing him in on the third play of the game? I get it. He's a blocker, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. But third play, I just, how about we let our other guys get an opportunity to get their feet under them? I don't know. I didn't understand a lot of the play calling. I just didn't. And like I said, man, the officiating, holy moly.
Oh, when you have 3 successful challenges from ball spotting, the fourth one was interesting. Like, it could have gone either way. It was close from what we were seeing.
I don't
know, Adam, what they were saying on TV, but it was like you more or less. I think it was almost like, we're gonna not, allow Sean Payton to win the 4th challenge in a row just to save face, because enough.
That ball started on the 30-yard line. You can look at the replay, and it doesn't make the 40-yard line. Fine, you say it did. Good. They spotted that ball almost on the 41-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even get that.
No.
And then the other one was, we're 3 inches short. We run a quarterback.
Oh my goodness!
And we lose 7
and it
inches.
moves backwards. Yeah.
But even that sneak.
Of course, they didn't show that one again.
But even the sneak that's another example of, like, Sean, just put it away, guy. He's playing football like it's Madden, and it's just, you can hit reset and rage quit when it doesn't go good. Okay, and he can't do that.
I would never do that.
Or do something crazy.
I know.
And do that, where you looks like you're going up the middle, and you flip it off to your running back that's going around the end. I don't even understand. Either push that damn ball straight the 3 inches you need, or if you want to get crazy, you fake a dive and you throw it over the top. And again, Shanahan was really good at that.
Yes, he was.
If you're going to get crazy, get crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I would like no more crazy. I would like some boring. I would like some Marty Schottenheimer in my.
Yeah, Sean doesn't do that.
If this is my coffee, I would like some Vince Lombardi, just kind of sprinkled in there a little bit. 3 yards in a cloud of dust, a little bit. Let's.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got the tools to do it. That's the thing. Just do it.
Yep.
Do it until you can't do it, and then let Bo go crazy. And Bo looked. He looked like he was trying to. He just was not setting his feet. He's off platform all the time. He's throwing across his body. When he has guys kind of open, he's throwing behind him. So you're not going to get anything after the catch. So
agreed. And Ken, great comment here. Look, through all this, Broncos won, and I'll just say that again. Just as we're going through this, guys, we are 1-0. Like, it doesn't matter if it's pretty or not. And, it is week 1. Like you said here, Ken, too. So, if Sean was talking about this in the press conference today, I missed it. But yeah, so giving, the alert with instead of a passing alert, make it 2 run plays for Bo to call to get that run established there. But, Jeremy here saying Bo is going backwards. I don't think it's, you can't use one game, the first game of your second season, to justify that, right?
Yeah.
Is it as good as is it worse than what we were hoping to see? Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things going on here. Remember, this isn't the same playbook that he was dealing with last year. This is a full, comprehensive Sean Payton playbook, and there's a lot more to handle with that. On top of being responsible out there on the field for calling the plays, making those adjustments, all that stuff, right? And being a little bit more of the leader on the field there. So, I think the moment was just kind of getting to Bo a little bit, where he was trying to make things happen, to get things going. He was maybe just taking too much of the weight on his own shoulders, and not relaxing, not playing ball, not playing his game, that we've seen him do. So, and if you go back to last year, what he looked like last year was similar to what we saw yesterday. But we saw from there, he improved every single week.
Yes.
So to sit here and say, Bo's going backwards, no. Is it as good as a start? Did he, go maybe a step back from where he left off at the end of last season? Maybe, but this is his second year, right? Against and as much crap as we give the Titans for being toddlers and everything and going through everything they're going through. You also got to remember that the Titans had a really good defense last year, number 2 in total defense. And so this is a team that they have a lot going for them as well. So this wasn't like a terrible defense. This is a team that if Cam Ward gets his stuff together and the coaching staff gets their stuff together, this could be a playoff team.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I don't think so, because I don't really like Cam Ward. But
I'm not buying it.
Again, at the same time, this was like we were talking about on the on the pregame, is that this was a good test for Denver, because Tennessee was dangerous enough that they could give Denver some problems, but not so dangerous that they could maybe capitalize on a lot of our mistakes. Because let's face it, if any other team would have capitalized on Denver leaving the door open for a good chunk of the game, especially those last 4 minutes, kind of leaving it up in the air when it really shouldn't have been up in the air. No, but to Jeremy's point, some of those expectations on Bo that the fans want, those have been placed on him by his coach. His coach is saying that this is the dude, and this is the guy that I think. So, maybe it's a little unfair to say that, what's going on? Is this, were we all, is the sky falling down? Exactly. Is that maybe a little unfair? Yes. But it's also those are the standards that his own coach have put for him. So,
Well, I thought that when he ripped that touchdown pass, that's the kind of pass where he set his feet and he just ripped it.
Yeah.
That was a good throw to a guy that was covered, but he made it easy for Cortland. It was right on him. Cortland used that big body to just lean in on the guy. I mean, you can do that. You can use these guys. I kept thinking, why are they not throwing anything across the middle? Let these guys run. Throw it to them so they're running when they get the ball. And when he did throw across the middle, he was always 2 feet behind him.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do anything but catch the ball.
Yeah.
So I think those are learning points. He's going to be fine.
So to that point, Scott, I mean, like, what guys, we talked about Bo, we've obviously gone over him a bunch. So for you, Kevin, for you, Scott, who would you say were guys that you were maybe expecting a little bit more from yesterday and you didn't get anything from?
Oh, that's easy for me. There's already been some comments about it. Evan Ingram. Not to his fault. I think he was completely underutilized in yesterday's game. I think I expected them to go out there and really try to solidify that connection early on.
Yep.
And you didn't even see an attempt go Ingram's way for a while.
I didn't even see him on the field for about, I don't know, halfway through that first drive. I was like, that first pass was to 85.
Lucas Kroll. It was the Lucas Kroll.
I like Lucas Kroll. But
I noticed that. I thought of you when I saw that, Adam.
That's who we're going to throw to. And he's a catchy type one. But
the membership was a booming yesterday, my friend.
I don't know. I think I just didn't like the game plan we had. And again, you don't have to change personnel every single damn play. I don't know. But it seems we're overdoing it.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping he gets comfortable with some of these guys. He gets on the same page with them. But I don't know. It was kind of mind-boggling.
For me, if it wasn't Evan Ingram, it was Marvin Mims. A complete non-factor in the passing game. Had a massive muff that could have been worse, that if not for the Denver defense basically bailing them out, could have been much, much worse. So
my biggest
thank you, Jeremy. I am
number 63. I mean, they're going to get you out there all that time and you're never going to go eligible as a receiver. Come on, man. Come on. 63 was eligible. A lot.
63.
That's who I say is my biggest disappointment.
Well.
Didn't even throw to him once.
What the heck is going on?
What are you
Those are some interesting names. Those are names that we thought would be very instrumental even in week one, because those are your star players. And so you would think that you'd want to get that connection going really early, but first throw is out to Lucas Kroll, and you're like, okay. I mean, that's fine, I guess. It
was a tight end. I was happy about that.
Exactly.
Use the tight ends.
But it from there, it was just like, So I think these are all things that everybody is saying. So you got to know that they're talking about the same stuff behind closed doors. They're looking at this too, saying, we got this guy, Evan Ingram, and we hardly used him. What about Mims? What about this run game that wasn't there? Why did we end up throwing 40 times? That's not a recipe for success. Turning the ball over.
Use that guy. Use him because he's going to get injured later on. You might as well get some use out of him before he's on IR for 4 weeks.
Yep. Well, here's the thing. Like, he did go down. Do we have any kind of news on Evan Ingram that if he?
He did limp away, but they weren't using him much anyway. I mean, I don't know.
They put his return as doubtful after the calf injury. They did say it was a calf injury, but I haven't heard anything else after that. I was wondering if you guys had seen anything. And Jeremy, yes, I am sure that I am 6 feet tall. How do I know that I am 6 feet tall? I'll tell you. So I have a doctor's note, and I will bring that. I was at Ball Arena last night, and I measured myself. I am 6 feet tall, my friend.
There you go.
You measured from head to toe.
This is a children's show. I am not gonna start with that right now.
Anyway, that's a fair question. That's a fair question, Scott. I like it. Look, a couple things, guys, before we kind of wrap up and go through some final things here. I mean, we got about 20 minutes yet, but I want to make sure we get this out of the way. Jeremy asked if we're worried about Daniel's throwing dimes. No. And we're going to talk about that next week, or starting tomorrow night on Bourbon, Broncos, and OBS at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Look, a couple things obviously we'll talk about is you can't turn the ball over 4 times. No. And that goes back to this game as well. You can't turn the ball over 4 times and expect to win. Now, the fact, if you guys look at some of these numbers, they're crazy. You think about the fact that we won 4 times and things like Time of possession. Broncos still won time of possession 32 minutes to like 28 minutes.
Yeah.
The yards alone. So, 4 turnovers and the score, Tennessee only got 12 points total. 133 yards in the entirety of the game. I mean, the defense absolutely shut down the Titans. And so you're looking at, okay, Daniel Jones did good this last week against
Miami
Dolphins, who have no respect for their coach, whose coach is more interested about, who did well at practice yesterday and gets to play the music for today's practice, yay.
What does that sound like?
They're not physical. The Dolphins aren't physical. The Dolphins aren't scary. They're not going to have a top 15 defense. I guarantee it. Yeah. And so, yes, the Broncos need to go in there and their offense needs to look good. But do I expect Daniel Jones to maybe make some plays? Sure, of course. Are we going to hold him to 12 points? Maybe not, right? They might have 17 to 20 points. But we're going to be able to handle them very well. And so we're going to talk about that tomorrow night, guys. So that's just a little preview for why you should tune in tomorrow night and for the rest of the week for all of our other content. And if you want to find out where that all lives and a good, easy place to find everything, head on over to Broncos and Bourbon. BroncosandBourbon.com. I need to create a little jingle that I can play. Broncos and Bourbon.com.
Broncos and Bourbon.
We'll have Scott sing it.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You got that raspy voice. That kind of
you know what? I tell you what. I'm predicting at least one fumble, one strip sack on Daniel Jones. That guy is a turnover machine.
Yep.
He always fumbles at least once a game, and then he always throws that interception when you least want it. But he's a turnover machine, so I'm excited about that. I think we're going to get some really, really awesome field position. Now their defense is decent, so I'm hoping we can kind of get some offense going. I mean, I was the one that predicted a top 10 offense. I don't know.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Michael says offense needs to iron out some of these inconsistencies before Cincy, Chargers, and Philly. Those are going to be tough games. So it's not like the Broncos have, a solid 5 or 6, throwaway games, if you will, where we're like, the defense can just bail us out if the offense doesn't show up, right? It's basically last week and then this next week where we're like, okay, as long, the offense doesn't have to be anything above average, and we should be able to win this game as long as the defense does their job. But you can't have that mindset against the Chargers. You can't have that mindset against and you definitely cannot be thinking that against the Eagles. So, look, this team could be 4-0 going out into Philadelphia. They could also be 2-2 going out into Philadelphia. And one is much better of a situation than the other, right? Obviously. So, there's a couple tough games coming our way. And what Ken here says, hoping the Colts are a little overconfident, maybe feeling a little too good about themselves, and the Broncos here is saying like, okay, the defense should feel good about themselves. And the offense is getting very humbled with, I'm sure the team meetings today for the offense were not pretty at all. I don't think Sean Payton probably had too many positives to say there.
I mean, I'm going to say this. I think we learned more about Denver in their win yesterday than we learned about Indianapolis in their win yesterday, because it does. It looks like Miami's in total mutiny right now. So, I mean, come on. We have enough history to know that Danny Dimes is he's a turnover machine. That's what he does. So. I don't want to give away the plot for tomorrow, but at the same time, it's that is in the business. It's what's called a teaser. But no, while I admit you can't win a lot of football games turning it over 4 times. That is not a recipe for success. Ooh. But at the same time, the things that I think that we think Indianapolis does well kind of plays right into what Denver does well. Yeah. And if if Daniel Jones thinks he's going to have 3 to 4 seconds on every drop back to look for guys, that's not going to happen. Cam Ward, my God, that dude had a guy in his lap for most of the game, and it comes in waves now. It's not just Nick Benito. You have Jonah Ellis living in
pushing his way through the line.
Yeah,
pushing two offensive linemen back. That was huge.
Maybe we could say that for final thoughts. That maybe guys who nobody was talking about, but Jonah Ellis in reserve had himself a day and has been just wrecking fools since preseason.
Right.
So, am I worried about Indianapolis? If you turn it over 4 times, yeah, I'm worried about anybody if you turn it over 4 times.
Right.
Do I think? But again, it's week 1. I think any reasonable fan kind of expected that it wasn't gonna. It may not look. We're still making sausage at this point. And nobody wants to know how the sausage gets made. So we're right there.
Yeah, we're talking measuring ourselves at ball arena.
Yeah.
And sausage making. I don't know, man.
This conversation's getting
weird. Can we get Molly on this podcast? We
might need to.
A little estrogen here because I don't know about this.
I'll talk to her about it. I'll see if we can't get her up here. Let's see. Michael says our division. Right, exactly. Our division is tough as it's ever been. Every game will count, especially this year, and especially early on this year. We can't wait until now it's mid-season. We got to turn it up now. Like no, and this is where I like the coaches talking about of the recognition of it starts with winning your division. And in this division you can't sleep any week. You can't just be like, we'll be fine. We got 10 games left this season. There's plenty of time to make this up. No, you fall behind. Like Chiefs are looking from the bottom, outside in right now, and
they're not worried.
They're low key. No, I think they're low key panicking because of the way they look. No, well, you look at the team, and the team very clearly.
Go ahead, Kev. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. They very clearly are a team that just does nothing but win, and so when things don't go their way, they don't know how to handle it. They break down and crumble, and they get in. You saw they got in each other's faces. They're yelling at each other on the field at the end of that game. Like the Chiefs remind me of the 1980 Soviet hockey team when they're playing, the U.S. They didn't know what to do when they were losing. They're like, what do you mean they're not pulling their goalie? They're down by 1 goal. You're not pulling your goalie, and it's like they have no conception of how to handle themselves when things don't go their way. So I think they slip a little further, and it's going to become a very slippery slope where I wouldn't be surprised if they start eating each other, and team fights and all that stuff. But Adam, what you got, man?
Chief on chief violence. I love it.
Chief on chief violence.
And I am totally 1000%.
Hold on, Adam. I got to stop you here because I've been saving this all day. Brad, good to see you from Australia, man. I made sure I remembered that fact about you. But I am going to throw out that Jerry Jeudy clearly did not do enough for the Browns to win. And those, out of all the wide receivers this weekend, Jerry Jeudy just really, especially when you look at the very end of the game. If you didn't see that, I want to make sure we call this out. Jerry Jeudy getting a pass play with like 3 seconds on the clock to end the game and refusing to lateral it. Just wanting to go down midfield to end the game versus trying to lateral it to keep the play alive for them to score. Very Jerry Jeudy-like, and maybe part of the reason why we got rid of him. So, Brad, buddy, I was saving that for you all day, man. I was like, Brad's going to be there tonight. I have a feeling I got to be ready for this. Anyway, back to Broncos. Sorry, Adam. What were you going to say?
Oh, Brad. Is Jerry Jeudy like the Tin Man and they got no heart? So, yeah.
Hey, at least Jerry Jeudy has some fan out there. That's good for him. That's
his fan. There we
go.
Fan. I would love to have a fan to be able to, split, a pizza with my fan. But
right.
Whatever. In any case, I don't know exactly what. Like we were talking about, and we weren't talking about Indianapolis. We're talking about. Well, we're trying to get 25 when you share and with Kev. We'll throw in a free lucky whisker. I actually saw a picture of you, Kev, the other day with no whiskers, and I was a little.
Oh, God.
I was a little
weird.
I was like, "Whoa, time out."
Who is this? Back in my military days, when I had to shave. Yeah, this is better.
I just, hey, I bet if I had a beard, and only in my dreams has that ever happened. But I've thought about, like, what's it like? Does it feel like, do you just play with it just at random?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I'll sit there, I'll just stroke my beard, and I look very wise when I do it. So
it doesn't have the same effect when I do this when I'm
yeah, not quite. Just a little urge in your chin. Anyway. Look, guys, let's start wrapping it up here. And kind of final thoughts. Really, obviously, we've seen, and not official final thoughts, but just in general, the defense did really well. The offense struggling.
Yes.
So, as we go through, like, what do you want to see improve between this week and next week for the offense? Obviously, we can't have it all, right? They're not going to go from making all of these mistakes to none of these mistakes. There'll be new mistakes next week too, right? But if you had to pick maybe just one or two that you're like, this one is like the one that, I cleaned up. Well, what are you guys thinking there?
I personally think, I don't want to say simplify because that sounds kind of stupid at this point in the year. It's regular season.
Right.
I just think stop subbing every single down. Not just sending in a new guy, but
like 5 or 6.
6 guys sometimes.
Yeah.
Get who you want out there. Let them get a little bit of a lather up. Let them build a sweat. Let them get a feel for the game. And then you can put 1 or 2 guys in there in the mix. Mm-hmm. I just, figure out, game plan it so that you got a little bit of focus on 1 or 2 guys, and then you could sprinkle in some of these other guys. And this was a problem last year too. At the beginning of the year, it was a lot of the same.
That's a good point.
It's like we haven't learned. Now, that's what makes me confident. Another 3 games, we're gonna be a little more. We'll know who we have, but I don't know. And I like Bidet. I would just like to see Harvey.
Yeah, right.
I'd like to see Dobbins continue to get a little play.
Right.
And who knows if we got our Joker or if he's out. But then let's start looking at Franklin and some of these other guys. And, I was where I was sitting. There were some plays to be made to Franklin. Mm-hmm. I just don't know that we really utilized our stuff very well. I'd like to see a little more run focus and play off of that, because the defense is going to be money, man. That D is
the depth is
we're
scary.
Going to get some turnovers against the Colts. We are going to be in their lap a lot. So I'm excited about that. And we have, you want to substitute some people, sub them in the middle on defense. You can rotate them out 2 or 3 plays at a time, because second stringers back there are real close to our first stringers. We got a solid middle of the line. So that's what I'd like to see.
I like it.
That was like
what do you got, man?
That was like 5 things, Scott.
That's okay. That's okay.
Greedy.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm a big proponent of stop the run, keep run the ball, and don't turn the ball over. Don't beat yourself. So if it was just one thing, it's the 4 turnovers. Don't beat yourself. Don't have to make up your own. Don't have to cover your own mistakes. And so if it were me, just hang on to the ball, play field position. Is it boring? Yeah, a little bit, but you know what? I like winning, and I
like winning too much.
Boring.
I don't really care how it looks as long as we got more points at the end. So, Kev, what about you? You can wave a magic wand. And
Yeah, and going to the turnover, specifically, I want to see Bo calm down. I just want him to see him play his game, make his reads, trust his offensive lineman. Now, I need to go back and look and see some of the breakdown that people are talking about, because I still feel there are people getting through that line that should not be getting through that line. But Bo needs to just calm down. He can run. I still don't know if he's maybe resisting, the thought to run sometimes. Yeah. But if he needs to run, right? Yeah. Don't take the sack. And I'll say, man, instantly when he fumbled as he got sacked last week, I had a Russell Wilson flashback, and it was scary. I was like, this is disgusting. I don't want to see any of that. So look, when he gets hit, because he's going to get hit, you got to hold on to the football, man. And this is as best time for him to learn as ever, to make that mistake, and then I'll focus in same thing, turnover on special teams in general. I'm going to chalk Marvin Mims' muffed punt up to just a bad week 1 mistake.
Oh my goodness.
Just it's whatever was going on. It was the sun was in his eyes just the right way. I don't know. Right. And that's not true, because it was to his back, but
the ball was too high.
Just put it behind you. Yeah. Ball was too high. Just put it behind you. Week 1 mistake. We can't allow that to happen. And the kick coverage, like Ken said, that has got that special teams cannot be allowing those things to happen, because we play decent teams. That's going to absolutely kill us. That will absolutely kill us.
Look,
and we're just lucky it didn't this time.
Kick it into the end zone or kick it out of the end zone
exactly.
every time.
Yeah. Especially in Denver.
Yeah,
there's no reason Will Lutz cannot kick it out of the end zone on kickoff. Just boot it out of sight. So that's for me. Anyway, guys, before we go to our closing thoughts, a couple quick things here. Remember, broncosandbourbon.com, as Michael has asked, nobody has found the Easter egg yet. And again, to the winner of the Easter egg will be a free lifetime top tier membership on the page. So no matter how expensive the subscriptions get over the next 10 years of our podcast, you will be the only person that will be getting free lifetime top tier membership. Never have to worry about paying a dime to us on our website. So again, the hints that I gave last week, that is still out there for everyone to ponder about. New users are going to be more likely to find this than existing users. So there you go. Nobody has found it yet, but send us a message on Facebook or send us a message through the website itself. There's a little message box on the homepage where you can send us ideas and everything. Let us know through there where you think you found it. And if you're right, we will announce it and set you up with a special little Hall of Famer badge on your icon there. It's a showcase to everyone that you are the one and only top champion on the website there. So also all of our other content, guys, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, every Tuesday night, Bourbon Broncos and No BS. So we'll kind of refresh, do another quick recap of this game. And then that is when we officially transition over to looking at the week 2 or week ahead game, this one against the Colts out there. So pre-game podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcast. Make sure you go like us and follow us on those platforms so you can see when that podcast gets dropped. And then game day, 1 hour before kickoff, live, the Tailgate Talk Show. We are going to we're breaking down all the last minute information about the team, the inactives list, all that stuff, and making final score predictions before the game starts. And then live at every Broncos halftime, we got our halftime hash show as well. So tons of content for you guys, videos throughout the week on YouTube and Facebook and everything. So make sure you're following, liking, subscribing. We're pushing for 25,000 followers on Facebook. So help us out, guys, by sharing and getting the word out about everything we're doing. So and then, guys, I'm just looking forward to this next game, home game that is at the end of the month, Monday night game. Scott, hopefully you're there. It's getting the flags flying, because team's going to need some support, and fans are going to need some excitement to, help contain their excitement and get some of the feelings out before the game, because otherwise it's just too much. Let's go.
Yeah, that's like going out with a loaded gun. You want to get some of that out beforehand.
Exactly.
I'll be down one car though.
That's fine. We'll make it work.
I just, man, oh man, because Nikki's got to, I don't know, work.
Yeah, but it's
What?
game day.
Baloney,
But it's
man.
game day. Like, that's
It's
silly.
garbage is what that is. I mean, me, I just
who does work over
actually,
game day?
I was going to say, I just abandoned my business, but my wife was like, "Get the hell out of here!"
Then you're like, okay, I'm going to
You're
the
like
game.
an anchor dragging us down, man.
No, Betsy's awesome.
But
Oh,
always telling the truth. She
Yep,
kills
exactly.
you with truth.
I love it. I love it. Look, guys, lots of great things coming your way. So make sure you're following us and getting ready for it. But let's do some quick closing thoughts. Adam, let's start with you, man. Game over. Victory Monday. 1-0 Broncos.
I mean, you know that it's a palpable energy, and you know that expectations are high when people seem oddly reasonable today. Most of the time you get people who are a little hyperbolic, get a little crazy. Oh, the sky's falling down. But that really has, and it's been oddly reasonable. People seem to be oddly like, you know what, it's the first game and we'll get it. So it's odd that everybody is oddly okay today. So everybody's happy. Everybody's a little pessimistic. All Bronco fans are, to some extent. But at the same time, everybody seems like they're in a good headspace as well. So that's good. Having a good mental health day is also what we look for in the show. And just to end things, my little boy is turning 5 on Wednesday.
Nice.
The little boy,
Nice.
you should
Happy
be sleeping
birthday.
and not watching Dad right now. Go to bed. But happy birthday, little boy. Dad loves you.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday,
Yes,
man. That's fantastic.
yes. Happy
Man,
birthday.
I remember
Mini
turning 5
Adam.
like it was yesterday.
But it wasn't yesterday.
It wasn't. It was a long time ago. I've gotten everything between then and now.
I could see 5-year-old Kev Dan with like this like luxurious beard in preschool.
I was born with it, man.
There you go.
Scott, buddy, over to you, man. What you got?
Well, I am I look forward to next Monday when we're having another victory. Victory Monday. I'm just, me, I'm optimistic. I predicted 12 wins. I think Bo's going to be great. This defense is fantastic. I'm a little concerned that, next year we end up with a different DC, but you got it. That's good. Sean's developing coaches, and I think that's fantastic. Now, I would like to see, that preseason game where he kind of turned over stuff to the quarterback coach. Let him do it. Let him do it. Just see, this is the time of year to do it. Shake it up a little bit.
Scott,
I don't think he will.
I don't think that's a crazy idea, man. I like Sean Payton, but I'm always very hesitant about head coaches that call plays. So I again, and when you saw some of the stuff, especially like we have an OC that doesn't call plays.
No, that the OC. Okay, I'm not. Other than him being a grandson of one of the greatest coaches ever.
That is very true.
Very true. Play him in a movie. That's great. I think we got a young and upcomer in that quarterback coach. Let him do something. Let him call some plays. But
be interesting.
This is the time of year to do it.
Yeah,
when you're playing dregs, as much of a dreg as you could play in the NFL, because there's not a lot of separation from the worst and the best.
Yeah,
the best can get their butts kicked by the worst if they don't bring a better game. When we're bringing our C- game against a D- offense, it just takes one play,
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to a much better showing. I'm excited. I agree.
I'm
kind of glad the game is on the road, so we can kind of see how that's going to go. Get our feet under us, and I think we might play better because we're on the road. Just because,
that's a good point.
That's a fair point.
So they know they don't have the home crowd behind them.
Yeah,
so it's they got to take care of business themselves. They got to work to shut up the home crowd versus get them riled up. So very different there. Ken, I like this. This is a good way for me to close to, the NFL is not college. Every player is a pro. Every week is different. Every team every week, any team can win. Competitive balance is very real. So look, take the lessons that we learned this last week, try and clean up as many of them as we can go this next week. I think, again, it goes down to, can we communicate better? Can Bo get his feet set better and just relax and play his game? Those things get cleaned up, man. I think a lot of the other things are just going to kind of disappear with them naturally.
Yes.
And so let's just get in the groove and start, making these little steps week by week. But I think, by the time we get down to LA in 2 weeks from now, I think it's going to be a competitive game. I really do think that. Yeah. So it'd be nice to go in there 2-0. And be feeling good about ourselves, but we've just got to take care of this game first. So let's see what we do. Guys, again, thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you check out broncosandbourbon.com. Sign up for free today. Free for everybody who signs up this year. And then you will get free upgraded to the next membership tier next season. So lots of hand motions because I talk with my hands a lot.
It's perfect conversation.
It's perfect. And it's going to be you're good. And if anything, my train of thought is gone. Free membership upgrade if you sign up this season. So make sure you do that now because this is the time to get in on that. Make sure you check out all of our other content. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, we're live again and going to be focusing more on the upcoming game against the Colts. So Adam and Scott, as always, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. To everybody in the comments that joined us tonight, thank you guys. You are fantastic as always. But I think it's time to end this show because I got nothing left to say other than to end it as we always do on a very strong Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Take care, everyone.
Do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, sip is right. And I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go.